nearby, make sure you have those nearby. Sometimes I will show it with that. I'm going to encourage everybody to have blocks and ties, because even when we come back together as a community and a family together here, we're going to need them. So welcome everyone. Today I really want to talk about awareness and discernment. I feel that the yoga practice that we do brings us, especially the Anusara yoga, where we're really talking about the nuances of the three energy centers, the Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, and the Janhala Bandha. We're connecting those centers to make the practice work for us. And it's about awareness, and it's about discernment of knowing how far to go and how much to push. So as the country is beginning to open up, and I feel that there are so many things that are going on the outside world that are beyond my comfort zone, I am beginning to make my own rules of how I wish to engage in what is going on, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. To actually be okay with being discerning about your risk, about where you want to be in all of this, and watching, observe what is actually going on, and decide what is in your best interest in terms of opening yourself up in a general way. Knowing the risks, knowing what's really involved. And it is the yoga practice. This is what we do. We're about awareness, and we're about discerning. So we do a pose. We're going to go to our edge and be honest with our edge, and maybe go a little bit further, but with the breath and with alignment, so that we're not moving into injury. Especially as we get older, alignment is our total friend. So I will always be giving those alignment cues and asking you to move into your own inner landscape. So index finger and thumb together in Chi Mudra, and you're going to rest your hands onto your thighs. And as we move into this inner landscape, it's a sacred zone. And breathe your way into this sacred zone. Allow yourself to feel that inner connection, feel the midline within you, and feel your presence on the earth. So let your breath move down into the belly. Let your elbows just rest underneath the head of the arm bone in that alignment. And as you breathe your way into the lower, the belly, you're using the lower part of your lobes of your lungs. So just imagine that you have a restriction. COVID does restrict one's breath along with other things. So when you breathe in, feel both the power and the way in which it is nourishing, the prana. So they didn't just call it prana, life-giving force, for nothing. It is that. And because we may not honor it in that way, doesn't mean that it is, it doesn't relate. So again, discernment. Bringing it back to what is important. Where we are here in this time in our life. Letting the sits bones be into the floor. Lift up through the spine. Feel the way that you're connected to both earth and sky. Let the breath just move through that space, both earth and sky. Letting the breath deepen, so it's 4 long counts in, and 4 long counts of an exhale out. Each a privilege, each gift. Grateful for our body's ability to be able to incorporate all that keeps us alive. breath move down into the belly. Then let it rise all the way up to the lungs. And then from there all the way up to the base of the neck. And I want you to hold at the very top of the inhale. And this is to slow us all down. Do the pause. And then exhale out from the throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. And the awareness of the inhale, the pause, and then the exhale keeps us in tune to that inner landscape. So we're not rushing through anything. And we're allowing ourselves the time to be. So keep that deep inhale and exhale. Feel the sacredness of your home, sacredness of your breath, allowing the energy of spring to move into your practice. And then with your next exhale, allow your chin to come down to the chest as you breathe into the opening of the neck and the upper part of the back, which may have some stiffness depending on how you slept or what you may have already done this morning. Breathing in, just allowing a space for change. And then release your hands from your thighs and bring them to the floor on either side of your hips. And on the inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze in the seated sun breath. You turn the palms and exhale with your fingertips down and the chin to the chest. And then the palms roll upward again, arms and gaze all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale, fingertips down, chin to the chest. 2 more times, palms roll all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale. And last time, palms roll all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head, down to your heart's center. And then breathe into your heart center. And allow this practice to come from that sacred place, that inner landscape. That you may bring this awareness and knowledge out into the world to those around you. It is so needed. And then I ask you to set an intention for this practice, whatever that may be for you, whatever is calling out to you at this time, that we can give and set an intention to whatever is meaningful for you right now. And just breathing into that place of the intention. And then opening up the eyes and releasing your hands. You're going to allow your right hand to come onto the floor. Stay seated. Left arm is going to reach up. I'm going to mirror you. And then over. And breathing into the side body and just beginning to stretch. Let your gaze go straight, so you don't even bend your neck. Let your head be looking straight and just keep your breath in the side body. Releasing, come all the way back, and the right arm is going to reach, your left arm is going to, right arm, and over. Breathing in, nice deep breath. And release just one more time, coming back to center, feeling the sit bones onto your, feeling the sky through your torso. Right arm or left arm reaches up and over. And then release, come all the way back, and the right arm reaches up and over. And then come all the way back to center. Good. Do a little cat and cow here, just slight, rounding the back and then inhaling up and then exhaling forward. You have your favorite leg in front, whatever that is. Exhale round. You're going to tip your tailbone down. Engage your belly so it's pressing towards the lower part of the back. Breathe into the upper part of the back. Inhale all the way up. Find your length first. Lengthen up through the spine. Then take the whole thing forward. Just one more time. Inhale up. Tuck the tailbone. Engage the belly. Round the back. Breathing in. Inhale all the way up and exhale forward. Good. And then inhale all the way back. Come into a seated pose to begin with, and then stand into Tadasana, the mountain pose, feet parallel to one another. So we might be, like I'm noticing even within myself that I'm a little sometimes, I'm not going to say necessarily sloppy, but I am not in a full awareness with this virtual business here. It's a little bit of a disconnect. So notice yourself, feet parallel to one another. I want you to feel the four corners of your feet. Hopefully some of my Shakti energy is coming in towards you. You're going to bend your knees slightly so you feel a little more grounding through your feet. Then add the arms all the way up. Clasp your hands, palms up towards the ceiling. Keep your feet connected to the earth, slight softness through the knees, and then exhale over to the right. Inhaling all the way up, and then exhale over to the left. And inhale up. So you stay grounded, and then allow your body to open and expand just one more time to each side. Good, breathing in, but feeling that earthy connection, feeling the sky through the body, and then release your hands, bring them all the way down, then move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Stay connected with your feet onto the floor, softness through the knees, breathing in, and then release and shake that out. All right, arms go all the way up. You're going to exhale and fold. Shins go slightly forward. Don't let the hips go way back. Shins go forward, stay on your toes. Let the thighs go back. Press a little bit more into the big toe mound and the little toe mound. Take the thighs back, head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way up. And exhale, go through a flat back. Shins forward, thighs back. Then let the head go down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. Say a little more to the top of your feet. Bend your knees slightly. That's going to bring you back to your heel, but your hips are going up towards the ceiling. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale back to a standing Tadasana. And then bring your hands to prayer position over your heart and just breathe for a moment. A nice deep breath. Good. Then this time, arms are going to reach all the way up. We're going to exhale and fold. Let the right leg go back into the runner stretch. Come onto the toe mounds. Don't let this right knee bend. Let the right leg straighten. Heel up towards the ceiling, back to the wall behind. Hands are on either side of your feet. Don't let them go forward or back. Then bring your hands up to the top of your left thigh. Then press again into the right toe mounds, heels up towards the ceiling. Press the heel back to the wall behind you. And breathe. Now this can become a back bend here. Take the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Let your hands come onto your hip. Feel your breath moving right down into your core, right into your hips. Breathing in. Then let the arms reach all the way up and come forward. And as you come forward, press into the big toe mound again. Press your heel back. Straighten your spine. This is going to open your hips. Take the left hip back. Straighten the spine. Bring the belly up towards the spine. So you really feel the lower back opening. Then press your right foot up to meet the left. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head. Down to the heart before we do the other side. Breathing in. Again, awareness, discernment. Begin to be feel some of these smaller places. It's all about the small movements that we make that bring us a little closer to our energy centers. And then release your hands, arms reach all the way up. We're going to exhale and fold again. Remember, don't let your knees, your hips go way back. Stay forward, parallel to the wall. Bend into the knees, press into the feet, and let your head go down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana, big, long spine. Exhale, fold again, and this time it's the left foot back into the runner stretch. No two sides are the same. Be aware. Recognize what's different on this side. Right heel lifts up, left heel lifts up, presses back. Now that's going to stabilize you to allow you to come up. Once you're there, settle back so that the right thigh bends a little bit more. Press the heel back to the wall behind you. So this is a quad stretch. You'll open the hips. Breathing in. I'm going to add a little bit of a back bend to this as you bring your hands onto the hips, head of the arm bone, up toward the ear and back, and lift. Rib cage in. That lifts through the spine. Good. Nice deep breath. Keep all of that in place. Add your arms all the way up. Stay in your center. Good. Then release. Let your hands go onto the floor. Step back into downward facing dog. Fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles. Let your head go between your hands. Let the heart settle towards the earth. That's one. Now we're going to refine that. You're going to bring the belly up towards the spine. Rib cage in slightly, not to bend your back. So you don't want a rounded back, you want to lengthen your back. So you want to feel like the lower part of the back is stretching. Then bring your knees onto the floor. Come into the table pose. Clasp your hands and bring your forearms onto the floor. And take a nice deep breath. Now from here, it's easy to let your belly go down towards the floor, so let it. Let it go down the floor. We got the sits bones going up towards the ceiling. Now you're loosening up that. Take the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. So begin to bring a little bit more stability to your shoulder girdle. Inside that, bring the belly up towards the spine. So now we're lengthening the lower part of the back. Curl your toes under and come into dolphin with a nice deep breath. Now I want you to press your feet away enough so that you get a stretch through your hamstrings. But if you can walk your feet in and still keep your shoulders in line, then do that. That's a deeper stretch. But only if you're not rounding your back and you're allowing your heart to settle towards the earth. It's an opening through the shoulders and the lower hip, the lower part of the back. And then release and bring your knees onto the floor. Come into a table pose. Let the right leg come forward, left leg back into low Anjaneyasana. We're really working today. Nice deep breath. We didn't even do a child's pose yet. Exhale and come forward. And inhale up. What are we looking for? We're making sure we're not slamming our top of the thigh bone into the hip socket. Don't want that. So you want to come off of it enough, lift up. You want the quad stretch though, so you got to listen. Where do I get the quad stretch without feeling that it's kind of a burning sensation in my body? Exhale forward, inhale up, and breathe into it. Just come to your edge. This is a little bit of a relaxation, a way to settle in. I'm curling my toes under because I'm hugging the midline, scissoring the legs together. It's a common use. Manny loves to use the scissoring of the legs. Exhale forward, inhale up. Last time, exhale forward. You're going to let your left hand come to the inside. Press onto the right knee. Press it down so you're holding it in place. Then rotate the torso without letting the left hip drop. Now that is an awareness. Oftentimes we drop the left hip to create the rotation. Keep the hip up, rotate more through your spine and your waistline, and breathe in. Nice deep breath. And then release and come all the way back to center. Come back into the table pose. We'll take a little break here, knees out, toes together, roll back, extended child, and breathe. If you want a little bit more of a shoulder opener, because our shoulders and hips are so connected, you're going to bring your hands to prayer position. Bring them over your head. Elbows onto the floor. You may need to adjust how far your elbows are away from your knees to let your heart go down towards the earth. Take a nice deep breath. The belly, lungs, and throat. 3-part yogic breath. Durga breath. And let that breath move to a part of your body that in this position may need to settle down. Let your heart settle. Let's find softness in this pose. Breathing in. Good. Then inhale, come all the way back again. This time it's the left foot coming forward, right toes back, other side. Curl the toes under. So again, we're scissoring the legs. Exhale forward. No two sides are the same. You want to stay upright as much as possible. And inhale up. So again, it's that discernment in your body, the listening. What am I comfortable with? How far can I press this? How do I come to my edge? And can I go a little further, or is that going to cause me harm an hour from now? Inhale up. Exhale forward. And inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. And last time, exhale forward. Right hand onto the floor. Left hand stabilizes the left knee. And I like this because once I'm holding this down, I can engage my belly a little more. As those of you know that I have one half of my stomach muscles are gone, so I take anything I can do to get my stomach muscles to work more. So I'm holding this down, belly in towards the spine, rotate, breathe. A nice deep breath. And again, find your edge. Good. Then release and come all the way back. And once again, we're bringing the hands onto the floor. Fingerprints down, palm knuckles. You want the palm knuckles to be the weightiest part of your hand. Curl the toes under. Press hips to heel. So now we're again stretching the spine and curl the toes under because I want to feel like I'm stable in my hands and in my toes so I can open my hip and lower back a little bit more. So we're taking the hips towards the heel. Now you're going to let the heart go down towards the floor. And then a little bit of tone to the belly, up towards the spine. Keep that. Press into the toes, press into the hands. Stay without coming forward, lifting the knees up. And just come to maybe a couple of inches off the floor, holding this position. You'll see how much it takes to actually hold this position. Then go all the way up to downward facing dog. Once again, you want to find the right length between your hands and your feet. So you're getting a stretch. You're allowing your spine to elongate. You're not rounding the upper part of the back. You're letting the upper part of the back settle towards the earth, but you're taking your belly up towards the spine. It's two different actions. Good. Then release and come all the way back to the table pose. Knees out to the side, toes together. Roll back. Extended child. And breathe. This is the breath of awareness. Letting your breath move to the part of the body that may have opened, and that always makes that connection. The breath is almost like the thread, the line. If you were hiking and you were a mountain climber, it's the rope that you hold on to. It allows you to hang tight if you lose your footing. It's the breath connects these centers. Breathing in. Good. Then inhale, come all the way back up. Once again, we're going to move into dolphin. Bringing your forearms onto the floor. Clasp your hands. I always love dolphin. Just something about it that feels both restrictive and freeing at the same time. So you're going to here press so that if you have a long shirt on, take your long shirt off so that you have your forearms solidly onto the mat. Curl your toes under. We're going to lift up. Take the top of the thighs back. At first, you're going to let your heart move down towards the earth. You may need to move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back more, a little faster. Just notice that. But then we want to take some of that away because I don't want your belly just hanging. Belly up towards the spine. Lengthen the spine. Now add the right leg up. Breathing in, toes to the earth. Heel up towards the ceiling. Then release that. Right foot down. Left foot lifts. And again, don't let the belly just hang down. Engage the belly. Keep your shoulders open. That's the dance. Leg up. Release. Come all the way back. Come back into the table pose. Right leg comes forward. Curl the left toes under. Come into the runner stretch with a nice deep breath. And then walk the left up to the right. Come back into Tadasana and shake it out. How we doing? We doing okay? Give me thumbs up. Give me a something. Woo! All right. Moving towards Trikonasana. Right foot forward, left foot back. Arch and heel are always in alignment. I don't care what class you take. Keep that in your head. Arch and heel are always in alignment. And you want your left thigh to stay back. Now this is a hip opener. As I bring the thigh back, I can bend a little more deeply into the right knee. Always knee tracking over the ankle. Good. Lift all the way up through the spine. You're right in between your legs. You kind of have a way of checking that out now as we're doing all this video business. Head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Add the arms into Virendrasana 2. Look over your right hand. Stay steady. Take a few deep breaths here as we just find our energy, find our center. Feel the energy between your legs. Let the left arm go down, right arm up into Stargazer. Good. Then release and come all the way back to Virendrasana 2. From here, I want you to just gently, without changing your torso, gently bring your right arm onto the leg. I want you to keep both sides of the waistline straight. Okay? And just let your torso go back and forth a little bit. Like, what does it take to keep the right side from collapsing? And I know this is a side angle, but we often just kind of crunch into it, which doesn't end up stretching your whole body. So little toe mound down, keep both sides of the waistline strong, add the arms all the way up. You want to make it so that the head of the arm bone is up and back, adding the arm over your head, slightly in front so that it's not going way back behind you, doing damage to your shoulder. Good, now this is the test. Are both sides even? Can you stretch, hold, breathe? Now in this space where it's all core, take the top of the thigh back. Now there's sweat. Nice deep breath. Open to Virabhadrasana 2. This is what we mean about Anusara, really getting you down and dirty into those itty bitty little places. Hands onto your hips. Turn your right foot so it's parallel to the left. Pasarda Padottanasana. And again, we're coming forward. Stay a little bit more on the toe mounds. Press the top of the thighs back to get to the heel. Hands onto the floor. If you have a block, you can use a block. Bend into the right knee. Inhale all the way up. Bend into the left. And inhale up. Keep your torso parallel to the floor. Bend into the left, right. Inhale up and left. And inhale up. I want you to come to a flat back. Extend through the spine. What do I mean by flat back? I don't want you to round here. Upright. How do we do that? Belly in. Not rounding here. Be aware of the upper part of the back that is not connected. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Now I'm balancing thighs back with the arms, with the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, engaging the belly. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalanhara Bandha, right here. All connected. Then inhale, come all the way up. Woo, it's a lot of work. And shake it out. Obviously, this is a form of yoga that I love because I have found that as I have gotten older, it allows me to continue to expand even though dynamically my body is changing like all the time. Like all the time. All right, left leg forward, right leg back. Same thing we're gonna do, but completely different awareness, right? Two different sides. Bend into the left knee, little toe mound onto the floor. Your right in between your legs. Notice your right hip. Does this hip come forward? It's common in people for one side of the hip to go forward. Now it can be corrected with awareness. Take the top of the thigh back, and as you do that, you're going to engage your belly more. So just notice that. Let it drop, and then bring it back. What does it feel in your body? Let it drop, and bring it back. What feels better to you? So when you find that better feeling for where you are in your practice right now, continue to bring it to that place, arms out into a T position. Let's look over your left. Breathing in and take a few cleansing breaths, spring breaths. The ones that just open the leaves. The ones that bring us the green, that beautiful spring green. Right arm down, left arm up, stargazer. And then come all the way back to Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Don't lose your focus. Then bring your left elbow onto the knee, but it's just kind of laying there. Don't put any energy into it. Stay right here. Here's the real work, right in our core. Take the right head of the arm bone up and back. Let's swing our hand down and then bring it up over our head, which brings the head of the arm bone a little bit more into alignment. Now while you're here, see if you can take the top of the right thigh back a little more. Now, release your left hand so both sides of your waistline are parallel to one another. You're not crunching into here. You're lifting. Where's the energy? Down into your foot, here in the core, up. Nice deep breath. Good. Release back to Virendrasana 2. Hands onto your hips. Turn your left foot this time back to Prasarita Padottanasana. And coming into the forward fold here is, I think, quite a lesson in listening to your body. What happens in my body is immediately my knees want to go back, and that doesn't feel good to me. I notice that, and I'm like, uh-oh, wait a minute. I've got to go back to my feet. Let my knees stay soft, but I want my inner groins back. That means I'm parallel. I'm not laying back here. You've got to work your legs to actually allow your torso to come forward. Bending forward into a forward fold, but come to a flat back. Breathing in. Now let your hands come onto the floor. Shift a little more forward. Keeping your feet onto the floor, press your hands away from you. So fingers are pressing away. I call this one Prasarita Dog. Let the heart settle towards the earth, but again, you want the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, settle that, but then take a little bit away, bringing the belly up, and then shifting the energy to the inner groins, taking the thighs back. This way we're getting strength through the arms, a length through the torso, and a big hip opener. Then gently walk your feet forward. Come back to a place where you can feel the four corners of your feet down, hands onto your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And heel toe your way back to Tadasana. Good. Nice deep breath. Let your hand just come to prayer at your heart center and just breathe. Nice breath. You want to take in all that energy that we just generated into your body and just feel how awake your body is. Feel how connected it is. And this is where no one can take this practice from you. When we move into this inner knowing, when we move into a place where we feel that gentle connection to something greater than ourselves, no one can take this from us. And when we make decisions in this space based on how we move forward, it'll always be in your own best interest. So shake that out. Open your eyes. Here we go. Come onto the floor. Come into a seated pose. Come into Baddha Konasana. Always go. We're going to let the knees bounce all the way up through the spine. Good. So you're going to let your knees come up slightly. Take the top of the thighs back. This is one we haven't done in I don't know, I maybe haven't done this one in a while. But if you bring your knees up and take the top of the thighs back, this is a gentle, it's not like it's going to hit you over the head like you're opening up your hips, but it does help you open up your hips. And then lift up through the spine. Then open your knees up. Keep your length through the torso, then come forward. And inhale up. Good. Once again, knees up, and you're letting your torso rock forward slightly, taking the top of the thighs down towards the earth, lifting up through the spine. Keep the length through your spine. Let your knees go down and then come forward. And breathe. Then inhale and come all the way back up. So you're going to let your left knee in, right leg come in front. Inhale all the way up. Take your left hand onto your right knee, lifting up, and you're going to rotate. Breathing in. We're not at the end of the class, I'm just getting a little rotation in here. Come all the way back to center. And it's your right hand onto the left knee, breathing in, and come all the way back to center. Switch your legs. Now we always have one happy side more than the other, but we got to do both kind of in the same way with that same level of awareness. Inhale all the way up. You're going to take your right hand onto your left knee. I'm not mirroring you. I think it's too confusing. Right hand onto the left knee, lift all the way up through the spine. You may have like little popping going on in your spine. I am. Release, come all the way back to center. Left hand onto the right knee and rotate. Again, I'm always encouraging you to keep your head last to move because we always feel like, oh, there's a completion once my head moves. But I want you to keep your awareness in your waistline. The head is kind of like there, but not so much. More in here. And then release and come all the way back. So now, take your left leg forward. Right leg comes into Janu Shirsasana. Foot inside the inside of the left thigh. How far does it go? It's up to you. Where is it for you? I like to bring my foot all the way up. You may not have that openness. It comes to a place where it's a little bit closer to the knee. It's up to you where you go, but I want you to listen to your edge. Don't go beyond your edge, but go to your edge. That's the honesty of the practice. So you're going to inhale all the way up, and you're going to walk your hands down towards the toe. Why am I saying walk? Because I want you to keep the head of the arm bone up and back, and I want you to keep your belly going. So when I walk, I'm also listening to my spine. I'm not rounding here. I'm not collapsing here. I'm staying upright and walking to where I can go. It may be that you can take your toes and keep a length through your spine. Go to where you feel you can go. If it's back here, then I want you to just melt your heart down towards. What's going to stop you is your lower back and your hamstrings. So when I get to a place to where I feel like I'm a little bit tight, I want to rotate the top of the left thigh a little more, and that usually gives me a little more of an opening. Keeping the head of the arm bone up and back. Good. Lengthen up through the spine, breathing in. A nice deep breath. And inhale and come all the way back up. We're not done with this pose yet, though. You're going to take your left hand into your thigh. Remember the two sides of your waist, and left hand into the inside. The left head of the arm bone closes in, right? Move it back. And when you do that, lengthen through the left side of your waistline. So you're not closing in here, you're lifting up. And then add the right arm up. And the right arm is going to be stretching. Take your left hand away from the inside of the leg and bring it to your right knee. So now we're in a twist. Rotate. Now, some people in the class may be able to hold on to the toes. Going down further, your left hand is holding the right knee or close to it. And if this is real simple for you, you're going to take your left hand, hold on to the outside or the inside of your left foot, because you're able to hold the twist in your body. Breathing in, inhale and come all the way up. Whew. All right, both legs straight, inner spiral here, Dandasana. Spread your toes, lift up through the spine, low back stretch. Breathe into it. So it's not so much that we are just we're opening to breathe into that space. So allow yourself to feel that opening. And I think that's part of the healing that ends up happening, because we're not torturing ourselves. Hopefully you're not torturing. That's, again, that discernment, the awareness. Then open the left leg up, bring the left foot to where it feels right in your body so that you can lift up through the spine. The whole time you're going towards the foot, towards the small part of the mat. Inhaling up, you're walking your hands forward and staying engaged. The belly is up towards the spine, the head of the arm are up and back, and you're moving with a flat back forward. Now for me, I get to a certain place and I want to inner spiral to open the lower part of my back. Inner spiral, lower back work together. So begin to feel that in your own body. Experiment. We'll just take my word for it. Then find the place where you can even just easily put your hands so you can work the spine. So I'm at my feet, I'm lifting up through the spine, I'm bringing my heart forward a little bit more to breathe in. If it's here on your knee or on your shin, you can do the same thing. Head of the arm bone up and back. It's about breathing into the space, the lower part of the back. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. You're going to bring your right hand into the inside. And this is just to help you. Right hand inside of your leg. Leg to hand, hand to leg. It's a solid like block. They're holding each other in place. Now move the right head of the arm bone up and back, and it's not going to move as much, but you're going to take the left now and rotate the torso. Add the left arm up, and the left arm is reaching for the toes. Now when you find that and you feel the twist in your body, hold the twist, bring your right hand away, hold it on to your left knee, continue the twist, rotate, breathing in, both sides of the waistline stretching. It's awareness, it's breath, it's rotating. And if this is super simple to you, you're bringing your left hand onto the toes, right hand onto the big toe mound, pressing down towards the earth and rotating towards the left. Breathing in. And then release and come all the way back to center. Both legs straight out, Dandasana. Inhale all the way up and allow yourself to roll forward. And this is a roll, not a flat back. Head down towards the knee into Paschimottanasana. Breathing in. Once again, just feeling your breath moving into parts of your body that may have been opened. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Let your feet go out, your knees go out again. Come into the Baddha Konasana and just let your knees flutter. Breathing in. Good. And then release. release, come forward. Going to take the left foot, cross it over. Lift all the way up through the spine. Now you may be able to take your right foot all the way around, but you've got to make both sides of your hips be weighty. So the right side is weighty for sure. Let your hip, your left hip go down, rib cage go over a little bit more. So here you're going to take your right hand. I'll give you 3 ways of working it. Either your right hand is on your knee, your right elbow is onto your knee, or you're bringing your right elbow to the knee and your arm is up. Either way, you need to lift up through the spine. Let your rotation through your waistline happen first before your head. So find the twist through your torso, then add your head and breathe. We're so fooled by our head. Our head makes us do crazy things. Listen to your body. Feel that connection. And then release and come all the way back to center. Let both legs go out, inner spiral again, toes sunny side up. Round your back down towards the earth, head to knee. Breathing in, Paschimottanasana. Inhale all the way back up. This time it's the right foot crossing over. Left knee, left foot can come up, but try to weight your right hip. Everything wants to go to the left. Weight your right hip. Come all the way up. Your hand is either going to stay on your knee, you're going to cross it over so that your forearm is on your knee, or your elbow is onto your knee, lifting up through the spine. Rotate the torso. So the left side of the waistline is coming in towards your right leg. Then add your head and breathe. It's about letting the pose breathe. So you find with the inhale, you lift up a little bit further. With the exhale, you rotate a little bit more. One more breath. Then release, come all the way back to center. Both legs go out, inner spiral. Round your back to a Paschimottanasana. And breathe in. Couple of deep breaths. And then inhale all the way back up. We're going to find ourselves back onto the floor. And then you're going to bring your left foot up. Hold on to the outside of your left foot. Pulse your knee into your chest. You can keep your right leg either bent or straight on the floor, depending on what feels comfortable to you right now. Just doing half a happy baby. And then release that, bring your left leg all the way down, right knee in. Either your left knee is bent or it's straight, depending on what feels good for you in your body. You're holding the outside of your right foot and pulsing the knee down towards the floor. Half happy baby. Breathing in, nice deep breath. And then release, come all the way back to center. Let your hands go onto the knee, and you're going to rotate the torso, the knees in one direction, and then the opposite direction. And then you're going to lay onto your back, come into Shavasana, taking a nice deep breath, allowing yourself to feel the integration. This is the most important part. Letting yourself breathe into the floor, feeling that deep connection that you have, your unique energy onto the planet, and making sure that your energy is honored and shown to those around you. That you share your unique energy and your gifts. Yourself find your breath. The leaves made a pact, a contract, to dance in the wind. Their performance on view anytime. The ticket, awareness and time to observe that moment's choreography. On stage now until the fall. Small movements. Come back into your fingers and back into your toes. Let your knees float up into your chest and hug them in, gently rocking from side to side. And then roll to one side as you pause for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And then continuing the side roll, come all the way up to a seated pose, bringing your hands to prayer position at your heart center. Mike, unmute us. And then coming into one Om. So take a breath in. May we have peace in our heart, peace in our mind, and true and everlasting peace and healing on this planet. Namaste.